If you take a look around now, almost all traces of the ice and snow are gone. Except, of course, for this patch right in front of Pearl. It's still pretty hard and frozen. And of course, it's in one of those places that just doesn't get sunlight. Give it a few more days, it'll be gone too. In the meantime, here on the inside where it counts, I'm happy to say Pearl weathered the storm just fine. Didn't leak at any point, despite the fact that, here again, she had 2 to 4 inches of ice collected on top of her tarp and frozen, but the tarp did its job, kept anything from coming through, and everything in here is still nice and dry and in good condition. So, at least we know she can weather the winter weather, of which hopefully there's not much more coming. If we look at the forecast for next week, seriously, after all that ice you've seen in the last week or two, and you're going to see some more here on this video today, next week we're looking at highs in the 70s and lows mostly in the upper 50s or so, and no precipitation. Will there be more? I don't know. It is February, and that rascally varmint in Pennsylvania did see his shadow. We currently have an insurgency planned against him here in the South, but that's another story. Anyway, time will tell. And after years of living here in the southern states, I can tell you one thing. If you don't like the weather today, give it a couple of days. It'll probably be different. Sometimes drastically different. But for today, we want to look back at some of the last vestiges of the winter weather. Like I said, over this last week, as you saw just a few moments ago, virtually all of the frozen stuff has gone away, with the exception of just a few patches. But it did take several days to go away and some warmer temperatures. So I thought I'd take you through the last few days of the ice storm here on the MT and Me. Two days of post-freezing temperatures and a day of rain. And as you can see, most of the ice is gone. Just a few traces remaining here and there, mostly in places that get little, if any, direct sunlight. And Pearl seems to have lost that row of icy teeth that I showed you last week. Yeah. She's all toothless again. Interesting, you know, this ice that I'm standing on is still pretty firm and hard. So, where it's still white, it's still iced over. But I'd say give it another few days. By the end of this week, you'll never know we had an ice storm. Sure was different just a few days ago. Oh, one more interesting side note I'll share with you here. Yesterday, I think it was sunny, about 60 degrees. A lot of serious melting was going on. You know, it's the warmest day we'd had in at least 2 weeks, maybe longer. So I'm at work, and about 11:30 in the morning, I get a message on my phone from my electricity provider saying, we are aware that there may be a power interruption at your residence. Gave my address. And, I thought, really? It's been my experience in the past that when your electricity provider tells you your power may be off, there's a pretty good chance it's off. They should know, right? Anyway, so I thought, well, it's warm enough. Nothing mission critical is on at home, so things should be all right. About an hour later, I had loaded up and headed for the house. Got home, and thought, well, I haven't received another notice, so I figured the power's still off. So come up here, come to my door, unlock it, and just push it open, and I can tell immediately, yeah, the power's off. I have a couple of lights in the room that stay on all the time, and they weren't on, and everything was quiet. So I thought, okay, yeah, power's still off. So I gathered all my stuff up and went to go inside. I set 1 foot in the door, and everything came back on. Just like that. And I just stopped dead in my tracks because it was creepy. I felt like I was on Star Trek or something. You walk into the room and the lights automatically come on, right? That's just kind of what happened. I mean, just the instant I stepped into the room, the power came back on. And everything was all right. It's been on ever since then. But it was just a strange moment. And the irony was not lost on me, okay? Here I had just come through 10, almost 12 days of one of the worst ice storms we've had in years here in the Mid-South. All that time, my electricity never blinked, never flickered. I had no problems whatsoever through sleet, heavy icing, sub-zero temperatures, and so much more. Everything went fine. The one day that it's sunny and 60 degrees, my lights go out. Sometimes you just can't figure it, can you? Anyway, the great melt continues. My power's on. It's still a little chilly. I'm going to head inside, warm up. So, when you mix rain with ice, you get this weird, misty fog. I don't think you can fully appreciate it here on the video, but it's really kind of creepy looking. When you get on up here and things are pretty clear. As you come down to 8, 10, 12 feet off of this frozen ice, you have this strange mist hanging. You can kind of see that there, even over the areas that are not iced over anymore. It just puts an unusual atmosphere to things. And it's not that cold today either. I should know. I mean, we've got rain falling. It's about 55 degrees right now, something like that. We've had quite a bit of melting in the last couple of days. But this is the first time that we've actually had rain. And now we've got this strange, I don't know, call it ice fog. Okay, you can see a little bit of that misty fog back in the distance there. I don't know how much we're going to get to see just on a drive. We're going to find out. Ooh, you can check that out, can't you? It's just hanging low, about 10, 12 feet off the ground. Not everywhere, only where the things are still icy. Oh yeah, like right up here. Yeah, this is really limiting visibility in places like this. Wow. Okay, we're about to head into a sort of rural area. It's going to have some collected ice that hasn't melted yet. And I think you can see the fog I'm talking about. It's just like a wall. We're about to drive into it. Yeah, it's here. Here again, a lot of unmelted ice, and with the rain that's hit it and these temperatures in the 50s, yeah, you just have that slow evaporation that causes this heavy fog to hang in the air. It's cold and it's spooky. See how foggy things are in my neighborhood. looking a little misty, but not too bad, really. Although you can't see down the street more than a block. And safely home again. And here we are, a few days later, and like I said, virtually all of that ice has melted away. Interesting couple of weeks, to say the very least. And with the weather forecast, like I mentioned earlier, to be up in the 70s this next week, with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies every day. Maybe I can get out here and do some actual work on Pearl. We'll see. We'll see. Before I go today, I want to mention another special thing that happened this last week. I was very honored on behalf of my employer and my boss to see him recognized here in our county as being an outstanding citizen and businessman, which he certainly is. The Hamburg area Chamber of Commerce held its annual awards banquet just a few nights ago, and I'm proud to say that my longtime friend, Dennis Maxwell, received a special honor.
Tonight, we recognize Mr. Dennis Maxwell, not just for his professional achievements, but for his enduring dedication to Ashley County and the people who call it home. His leadership, service, and commitment have made a meaningful difference, and his influence will continue to be felt for years to come. Please join me in congratulating and honoring Mr. Dennis Maxwell, our man of the year. Selfless mentorship and consistent action. She moved to Hamburg in 1976 and immediately began plugging into our town.
And as you can see from that reaction, he was indeed a bit surprised and taken aback by the entire affair. But no one more deserving. Congratulations, Max. I'm proud to call you my boss and my friend. And on that note, I'm proud to call you my Nomies. Good to have you along once again this week here on the MT and Me. If you are not a subscriber, shame on you. You can do that below with one click. Also, give me a thumbs up on this video. That really helps the algorithm on YouTube and helps the channel move along. I'll appreciate it. We'll be back next time around. Like I said, weather permitting, maybe get a little job or two done on Pearl. Let's hope so. Until then, I love you, my Nomies. Thank you so much for watching each and every week. I hope you weathered the winter storm as well as we did here. Until next time around, I'm Russ, and we will talk later.